This is All Reason No Logic. As you can tell from the peninsula in the middle of your screen, we are on Supreme Isthmus for this channel's first cast. So we're going to be focusing on a frontline push today. But first, let's introduce our team leaders. For the red team, we have Feed My Anxiety, coming in at a true skill of 29 all the way from Germany, obviously relative to where you are. And over on the blue team, iamlegion, true skill 31 and from India. So we're looking at this front line, and over on the blue team we can see your standard starts, your 3 mexes, your 3 wins, and your labs. A little bit different on the red team. I've got Mr. Chunks here. He's just gone into the 2 mech start into the bot lab with some wind. And myself, this is one of my casts, I've just gone the single bot lab. So the meta for this would be to go 2 or 3 wins and into that bot lab before any mexes. I've gone the mex though before the lab, just because it's a little bit of a lower ranked lobby. I kind of assumed that the opposition weren't going to be rushing too hard. But still, what this allows is for us to get units out in the field faster than the other team. So you can see the first grave robber it is for Liar. Wants to get that out to get some of that 175 metal. About 1.4k in the middle of the map, by the way. Gets that out, but we've already got 2 pawns and 3 grunts on the front line, ready to clean that up and deny that metal from the opposition, which is key. So getting this metal in the bank before getting the mexes is more beneficial for your team. You're going to generate more metal just on reclaim than you are from these couple extra mexes that you typically get. And using that commander with the 300 build power, we can get a lot of units out real quick, and you can see already 5-6 grunts there on the front line compared to the 3. No units lost yet because we're able to micro these in a situation where we outnumber continuously, and obviously the more you have, the better you're going to do. Almost all of the metal going back to our team, to myself, and I'm going to be sharing that to our tech player. So a lot of times I see that front player suck up all the metal and then use it for themselves, but what I like is to share it to that player that's actually going to benefit the team more to get that big W, get the win. So consistently harassing and denying the build up of an army, and because I can see Mr. Chunks is very capable of holding that front line on their own, I've been able to do a run by. So not only is it your job to hold the front line as a frontline player, but it's also your job to identify those gaps that you can get through, especially on a map like this. If you can get through, a lot of the back line doesn't assume that you're going to be getting through, and you can surprise them, take out some eco, just as happening here. And we managed to take out, I think it was 4 of these metals. Unfortunately didn't get any of the cons or the factory. It would have been very nice, but we do get 4 of the 5 mexes, sorry, 3 of the 4 mexes and all the wind. So Slay having to rebuild their base there. In the meantime, sending through another run by of 4 grunts. And Ancient Flames reacting by building some blitzers. Definitely a very good counter. However, does miss micro there, and I've been able to get the grunts back to this geothermal and deny its construction. Now, real key here, using the blitzers to move around that geo will stop the the grunts moving around the geothermal will stop the blitz from having line of sight, and you're able to kite around the building and not take any damage. Now, brilliantly done by Sonar. He's got a transport from the back line and has dropped a shell shocker up on the hill. Absolutely love that, raining down and taking out some economy. We're going for the construction vehicle, not quite killed, but we will get some of those economy buildings, the mexes and the winds, I think, come down. Brilliantly done. Good foresight to see that we had pushed enough that we weren't going to get intercepted by any anti-air or fighters at that stage with that air transport. Now what I definitely should have done here is obviously I couldn't see that I needed to push going through here. I could have easily got through, but you don't have the vision, so could have pushed there. But what I should have done is build some aggravators, similar to what Mr. Chunks has done, some rocketeers to take on the guards. Obviously outranging them, you've got what do we got? 435 versus a healthy 475, so those rocketeers obviously outranging the lowest form of static defense. Now looking elsewhere around the map, we've got Feed My Anxiety going up to that tier 2 with the medal that I've donated, and straight away into the sneaky FATBOY. So we'll come back and see what's happening there shortly. By the way, Jaguar, love that name. Love the names that you come across in this game. Hiding the Navy in behind those islands, and looks like he's going to be up against. Yeah, we've got a queue over here from Ancient Flame. 2 sea players. Now just beginning into the water very late, having gone for a land-based economy. I don't love that, especially with there's a lot of metal wasted on. How much is that? All this anti-air. We've got 1,000 metal worth of anti-air that could easily have gone into a couple ships that can take on air quite well. So those herrings, that would be more than enough to take out air, rather than wasting the metal there. FATBOY online. Well, that's taking its time to walk up. Oh, beautiful. We've got a push happening here. I think that's going to be an easy win for the orange player over the lime green. But anyway, in the back line, we've got tier 2 transition. Unfortunately for both teams, lacking a little bit of experience there, and you can see the wins are grouped. What you want to do with the wins, just grabbing a constructor, is you want to be dragging them in lines of 2, or holding down Shift and Alt to do that, and then you can also hit Z and X to expand and retract the spacings. So you put a space in between those so they won't chain react. What we would have liked to have seen is tier 2 handed out to this player rather than spending the, what have we got, 3,200 to build a advanced aircraft plant. Yeah, just pay the 450 for a tier 2 construction bot, transport it around. We've got the back line over here, much more experienced, already tier 2 online. All mechs is upgraded, even for the blue player. And have we got another one? Yeah, even this player here, upgrading those mechs. So an extra 30 metal coming in for the blue team, so an advantage there. Whilst we have the advantage on the front line, they definitely have the eco advantage. So you do have the risk of a boom or even nukes coming up online. And here we have it. Sneaky FATBOY push into the front line in 8 minutes on the front line. Beautiful time. This unit, I don't love building it in the game. Dies quite easily, but it does do a lot of damage. Easy to take out if you can get to it. So this is probably the ideal use for a FATBOY. Feed My Anxiety, the red team leader, has identified that we've got a whole bunch of units on the front line that he can work around. We're all paying a lot of attention to the front line, which is key. Making sure that there's no run-bys, no one's able to come up and attack this FATBOY, or you've got to watch out for a cheeky D gun as well. And similarly, Armed Sonar, he's got or he or she, they have the shell shockers up front, recognising that we've got a lot of pawns, rocketeers, aggravators and grunts, and we just lack a little bit of range there, so great choice of unit to sneak in behind us there. And we've got 4 players constantly microing on the front line compared to 2, and you'll see what happens. That FATBOY already 10 kills, taking out 2 or 3 per shot. Pretty much everything apart from the Stout, the Brute and the Riot tanks are going to go down in one shot for tier 1 units. Very nicely done. So I've almost got a fusion coming up here. Very nice. Our back line. I don't love this. You can see going into the fusion before upgrading the mexes. Definitely recommend upgrading the 3 mexes before getting a fusion up. and of course, as expected, bottomed out on metal as a result of that. No one taking this island. Definitely could have capitalised on that. Our air player, I suppose, like a little bit of experience there, could be transporting or even just flying a construction plane up there and taking those metals, getting that extra metal income. Another check-in, up to 25 kills. So, FATBOY's online, and you can see finally we got the tech player teching up way too late in the game. KPT Cosmos, is that captain? Not sure. Let's just call him Cosmos. Cosmos building stouts, which is a good choice, and Liar going into a agitator. I don't mind this. Outranges the FATBOY 1245 through 700. So well outranges, so not a bad choice, but we just need to make sure we've got those units coming in while all the metal is going into building this. So 1300 metal for that agitator. And oh no, we've got tier 2 coming up here too, so bad communication, not checking on around your bases to see who's gone tier 2. 3 players going tier 2, 4 players going tier 2 all at once. And as a result, a lack of units up on the front line, where we've got Captain Chunk's doing a great job constantly sending those units to the front line, and here we have some welders coming in. So that agitator taking off about 4% from the FATBOY every shot. Yep, 4%. And we realise we need to take this out before it does any more damage. So those welders are perfectly timed just to push straight in. Obviously no army coming in, no tanks coming in from this player, and building tanks at the same time as going tier 2 transition. Not good choices there. So we go for the rush. Looks like Violated Jaguar is securing the sea. I don't know if... already taken out this other player. Brilliantly done. But bit of a rookie move going back in the sea. Once you've lost it once and another player's lost it, maybe just admit defeat, go for another tactic on land, focus on getting that tier 2. Put all your metal into helping out that front line that's suffering. Beautifully done with that FATBOY. 54 kills from one unit, definitely the MVP of this game. And now getting a little bit greedy, sees that commander trying to chase it down. Oh, we've got some pings. Hovers, looks like a hover push. But at the same time we've got all our units going through. Don't want to miss this. This FATBOY's got his eyes set on one target, and that's the commander. Gets it there, and then you've done your job. 65 kills and 66 kills, decided it's time for a nap, and stopping the micro there, focusing on what's happening on the front line. So a few hovers pushing through. Great vision by Mr. Chunks, sending some units already down here to protect this line, whilst myself and Feed My Anxiety harassing this support player's base. And you can see that advanced vehicle plant didn't even come up online before we've got the commander, taken out the lab, and essentially taken out the entire base. I should have definitely gone for a split, taken some units around there whilst we went that way, and over here I do end up sending, I think, three aggravators to take out the eco. But here's the response from one of the more experienced players. Up in the back line we've got the very versatile Fiend doing a nice job of bunching them up. You don't want to just be sending them in one at a time, and yeah, not the right choice here. I would have definitely committed to the push with all these hovers and asked for that backline help to protect your base. Could have maybe snuck through somewhere through here and taken out a bit of economy. Good for our team though. Looks like Violator Jaguar is going back in for that second push. Now we've got some Corsair destroyers, so they'll have absolutely no problem wiping out this base. They've got the torpedo as well, so they'll be able to take out that commander as well as all of that economy. Looks like another player has left. Now my reaction to these fiends is to build fiends. Fight fire with fire. I don't quite have it yet, but I should be building that advanced geothermal power plant shortly. But just focusing on getting as many of those units out as possible. But brilliantly done by Mr. Chunks, recognising that his maces are going to be sufficient enough to take the hits, enough hit points in those units to keep push at bay. Got my commander there just in case, ready to come up on line and break on land and break the line if needed. Just one thing as well, personal preference. When I play in this position here, quite often a less experienced player gets left in this position in the lower rank lobbies. Is to build a backup base behind the mountain here, so that way if the North Sea is lost, you have a backup economy. Looks like we're transitioning into Seldons in the back line there. Good choice to go behind the fiends. And so many great moves from Mr. Chunks in this game. Has recognised that the game is transitioning into tier 2, so what I'd recommend is either one, take your tier 1 army back a little bit, reclaim it with a forward line reclaiming bot or your commander or something like that, a vehicle, and get the metal sent back to your base to build a tier 2 lab, or in this case recognise that there's still a tier 1 somewhere on the map and you have enough metal in that army composition that you can push, and exactly what he's going to do here, take out this purple base for the second time in 15 minutes. As a result, Frost has taken the fiends probably the wrong way around this mountain. Would have liked to see them go this way, cut them off rather than chase them, because what that's meant is leaving a hole over here for us to rush through. So I've grabbed all those fiends that I created, and I'm going to push through. It's a good job to clean that up, but now there is nothing to stop these fiends pushing into the Sheldons. I didn't do the greatest micro here. I definitely kited past them a little bit too quickly instead of rushing straight into them, but I do manage to see these commanders. I can't remember if I managed to snipe one. So only the 6 fiends there. That's more than enough to take down a commander, but terrible micro. Luckily I got one on each side, and that amplifies the damage with the surround bonus, and a second commander also coming down here much quicker. Just using my commander to sneak up, steal some metal while we're there. Looks like both seas are being completely cleared out. And I'm surprised, that's a bit of an overcommitment there of jellyfish. Wow. I mean, iamlegion has the eco for it, but can't help to think that, what's that? 3,200 metal could have gone into some bombers and maybe done a bombing run. We don't have a lot of anti-air. I mean, we do have, they're all tier 1 fighters. So yeah, a bombing run would have probably been the best choice. But at this stage, let's face it, the game's pretty much over. Down to only 2 commanders, and most of the economy's gone, with 150, 140 more metal coming in per second for our team. And tier 3 up on the front line now for feed my anxiety. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed the quick video. When you want a frontline push, it is great if all 4 frontline players commit and help each other out, which was good to see in this game. There was actually no coordination between us, but everyone assisted each other and talked during the game, later in the game, with what was needed to put the blue team to bed. Now if you want to see any more casts or have any requests or questions about the game, feel free to send them through on the Discord for AllReasonNoLogic. I'll leave a link in the video description. Also in our Discord channel, we've got a lot of rooms set up ready for lobbies, whether they're ours or anyone else's. Feel free to jump in and use our lobby to play amongst friends, play amongst strangers, and just enjoy the community of Bar. Hope to see you all soon.